Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. Today, we're diving into the massive, interconnected forces that are reshaping the entire tech landscape right now. We're talking huge market rallies, major leadership shakeups, and political power plays that are changing the rules of the game for literally everyone. Let's get right into it.
So here's our roadmap. We'll start with the big picture to see what's driving the market. Then we'll zoom in on the architects of growth inside the companies. After that, we'll explore the new battlegrounds where tech and politics are colliding, see how it all impacts the human interface, that's you and me, and then wrap it all up with the takeaway.
All right, first up, the big picture. Right now, the tech markets have some absolutely incredible momentum, and it really all boils down to one key shift in how people are thinking.
So what does a quote like this actually mean? Well, it means investor sentiment has totally flipped towards growth. After a while of playing it safe, investors like Eric Bealey are now saying, you know what, we're ready to take some risks again. And they are betting big on the future.
And just how strong is that bet? Get this, the Russell 1000 Growth Index is up over 17% this year alone. This is not some small little uptick. It is a powerful wave of investment that's pushing the market to record highs.
But who's actually driving all this growth? It's not the whole market. Nope. It's a really small group of mega-cap tech stocks that people are calling the Magic 7. Companies like Apple and Tesla. They're responsible for a massive slice of this performance. And even though some analysts are kind of waving red flags about high valuations, the momentum is just so powerful that investors keep piling in.
Okay, so let's zoom in from that 30,000-foot market view down to the company level. How are individual companies actually trying to position themselves to catch this wave? Well, a lot of the time, it starts right at the very top.
Just take a look at Oracle. For years, the word was that their leadership was pretty skeptical about the whole pivot to the cloud. But now, with the promotion of Clay Magachy and Mike Sicilia to co-CEOs, the message could not be clearer. Oracle is all in on cloud and AI. This is way more than just a personnel change. It's a fundamental shift in their entire strategy.
And what kind of new approach are they bringing? I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Magachy is seen as this aggressive, run-through-a-brick-wall kind of leader. That's exactly the kind of person you put in charge when your goal is to dominate a market as cutthroat as cloud computing.
And if you ever want to know a company's real priorities, just follow the money. Magachy, the guy leading their super important cloud unit, is set to get $150 million more in stock awards than his co-CEO. Oracle's placing an absolutely enormous bet on the person steering its biggest growth engine. And guess what? That bet is already paying off big time. Oracle has locked down a huge infrastructure deal with OpenAI. They're reportedly closing a $20 billion deal with Meta, and they became the key tech partner for the new US version of TikTok. I mean, they've gone from being a question mark in the cloud space to an essential provider of AI infrastructure.
You see a similar story over at T-Mobile, but with a different angle. This isn't a turnaround, it's what they're calling succession amid success. The outgoing CEO, Mike Sievert, delivered incredible growth and dominated 5G. The incoming CEO, Srini Tayer, is bringing deep expertise in the next wave. We're talking AI, digital, and fiber to build on that success and just keep disrupting the industry.
So we've seen the market, we've seen corporate strategy, but technology is now a central piece on the geopolitical chessboard. And that's creating entirely new battlegrounds for national security, for business, and for the global hunt for talent.
And there's really no better example of this than the incredibly complicated deal for TikTok's US operations. It's this wild arrangement designed to navigate a political minefield. See, US law restricts ByteDance's control, but Chinese law prevents them from exporting the algorithm. So what's the solution? This crazy three-step workaround. License the old algorithm for a little while, use that time to build a brand new one from scratch in the US, and then deploy that new, US-controlled version. It's literally geopolitics shaping software architecture.
And from national security to the talent war, this number just sent shockwaves through the tech industry. A proposed $100,000 application fee for H-1B visas. That's the main way U.S. companies hire high-skilled talent from abroad. The initial confusion just caused chaos, with employees scrambling back to the U.S. and companies putting a halt on international travel.
But who does it feel like this really hit the hardest? For startups, $100,000 per hire is, like one expert put it, not manageable at all. It risks completely stifling innovation. Now, for big tech, sure, they can absorb the cost, but it still hurts their competitiveness and could push them to just shift more of their operations and jobs overseas.
Okay, so we've covered the markets, the boardrooms, and global politics. But how does all of this stuff actually affect us? Let's bring it right down to the technology we use every single day.
So on one side of the consumer experience, you've got this explosive, user-focused innovation. I mean, look at the Oura Ring. They've sold about 5.5 million rings in their entire history, but get this, half of those sales, happened in just the last 12 months. They've doubled their user base and are on track for $1 billion in revenue. It just shows there's a huge appetite for tech that gives us real value.
And they are definitely not standing still. Oura is evolving way beyond just sleep tracking. They're becoming a holistic health platform, adding features for women's health, metabolic insights, fitness. They're winning because they're constantly adding value that users actually want.
But then, on the other side of the consumer experience, you've got these things called dark patterns. These aren't designs meant to help you, they're meant to trick you. And it's at the very core of a major regulatory battle that's brewing right now.
So the Federal Trade Commission is actually suing Amazon, and they're alleging that the company uses dark patterns with its Prime subscription. They claim Amazon makes signing up incredibly easy. A click or two and you're in. But then they create this confusing multi-step maze just to try and stop you from canceling. This clash between user-centric design and user-manipulating design, it's a huge battleground. Okay, let's zoom back out one last time and connect all these dots. We've seen how all these powerful, interconnected forces are pulling the tech world in completely new directions. So to recap today's tectonic shifts, we've got markets that are just running hot on these high-risk, high-reward bets, mostly around AI. In response, corporate leaders are making these really bold pivots to try and capture that growth. At the exact same time, governments are stepping in and directly intervening in technology like never before, shaping everything from software design to hiring. And finally, all of this comes to a head in a fight for the consumer, pitting genuine innovation against manipulative design. And that leaves us with one final, and I think, really crucial question. For decades, we've all looked to Silicon Valley for the next game-changing product. But now that tech is so tangled up with geopolitics and finance, is the most important innovation on the horizon a new gadget, or is it a new piece of legislation? Definitely something to think about. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.